How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Bri, long time no see.
Right, it's been a minute.
Yeah, welcome everybody back to the Chatty Caveman cast, CCC, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's fine.
CCC.
Yeah, that's good enough. Anyway,
I didn't know that.
we have been gone. I feel like I've been gone for the entire month of October, but we got together because this was our trip we've been talking about for a while. Mm-hmm. We got together and met up in London.
That's right.
Me, you, and Big Rob.
That's right.
It was
Our
it
brother-in-law.
was a lot of fun.
It was.
It was very interesting and crazy. The first day, I really didn't know how it was going to go because I got into town on Sunday night, and you guys met me Monday morning. But London, as it can be, the weather was shit.
I mean, the first day,
The weather was shit, and I thought it was going to set the tone for the week because Brian got to the hotel. He was soaked.
Yeah.
And we were already out, and Rob and I were walking through puddles, and he's like, my shoes are... Because we went out because we wanted to go see places, you know.
Well, he wanted to
go see...
The changing of the... Is it the changing of the guard?
Changing of the guard. So we had what's called I think it's a weather guard or something, which is when it's bad weather, they do a abridged shortened version, but he got to see it, so it was cool for him. Mm-hmm. And then he wanted to go to like Led Zeppelin's first rehearsal place, which was I think down in Chinatown, and like a little club that they used to play and some other things. So we wandered around, and then we got in touch with you, but we're jumping ahead here.
Yeah.
But it was
well, John had everything planned out. Like, okay, he knew you had a meeting with Rob beforehand, because a lot of this vacation was, it seemed like, which was fine, and I knew going into this, like, what does Rob want to see when it comes down to Led Zeppelin or the Beatles?
It really was. It was that,
at least half of it,
along with... He gave me like 20 different locations, maybe 30 different locations between Liverpool and London. He's like, hey, can we go here? Can we go here? And I'm like, okay, we can do these things. Do you want to go on tours? He's like, no, I just want to go by these places. I'm like, all right, well, while we're going by these places, I'm like mapping out like, hey, there's the British Museum, like, so let's walk by here and you can look, and this is a gorgeous fountain, and there's a church, and we can walk through Chinatown, and then, happened to see Led Zeppelin's rehearsal place. So I was trying to show him London at the same time as showing him the spots. Like we went to Abbey Road, we did this, we did that. We went to all these.
So I missed with you the changing of the guard and the rehearsal place.
And Chinatown.
Did you eat in Chinatown?
I did the last time. And okay, we're going to get into the eating stuff.
Okay, that's fine. Funny. But I was just asking
no,
if you
we didn't eat
there,
in Chinatown
so.
Because we wound up meeting up with you, and we wound up going to the first fish and chips place that we went to, which I thought was great.
Yeah,
Poppy's fish and chips.
And I thought that fish and chips was good, but I wasn't going to crap on it there. But I was like, I can't. I just knew it was good fish and chips, but it didn't. It was probably the least impressive when it comes down to all the food,
right?
Because it was nice because I've had fish and chips a lot, and you go, oh, look at that. This is good fish and chip. Mm-hmm. I wish I would have had the haddock instead of the cod. Was those the two options? Yeah, so I wish I would have tried your haddock to just see, because maybe it was a little bit greasier. I wanted it to be greasier.
It's a little, to me, it was a little bit greasier, and also I always say the same thing when I go to fish and chips places, because I've been disappointed with fish and chips that's not crispy.
Right.
So I always just say the same thing, and I don't know if you did this, but I just go, I want
extra crispy.
I want extra crispy, the chips and the fish.
They looked the same as mine, and I didn't ask for it, but they were crispy.
But I could, mine stayed, even when you cut in half, it stayed a piece. You know what I'm saying? It didn't break apart. So, but that's how I like it.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, but it was good. I just liked it because it's a good solid fish and chips. Out of all the food we had, like we went to the markets and we had food. We went to try different things. And
just like we happened to go, okay, whichever. I don't know what kind of order you want to do this, but you find a place. It's got really good reviews. It's reasonably close. The joke for most of the trip was, is it like a 15, 20-minute walk?
Oh, God,
everything was 15 or 20-minute walk, which sometimes you're like, oh God, you just want to hopefully fucking either jump on a train or get a ride. But it was fine. I mean, by the end of the week, I had strong legs.
Yes. Well, we did do a lot of 15-minute walks.
A lot of walking.
And if it was 17 minutes, I told you guys 15 minutes because
sure
I didn't want to hear the bullshit.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. When you're there was so many different, like central London, you got the western side, the eastern side, northern side, and then you have on the other side of the river. I was just trying to find a spot. Our hotel, I thought our hotel was pretty good.
It was a good location. It was a good look
Because it had mostly 15-minute walks to
which is
almost
fun.
every train line. Because we
Yeah.
were taking the tube, which I thought the tube was great because it just got us everywhere. And
Yeah.
it's really easy to figure out once you start going. And that's why I chose where we were in the hotel. We stayed over at what did we stay at? The
Crowne Plaza
and King's Cross.
At King's Cross, yeah.
Okay. And it was by King's Cross Station. It had a lot of different trains
it was
to go
15
out of
minutes.
there. It definitely was 15. It was a full 15
when
minutes.
it's raining.
And when it's raining and you're taking your luggage,
it's a little bit much because halfway is like drizzling when I got off the plane. You go, okay, well, this is fine. And then halfway through, that drizzle turned into it's full on raining. And you know what? The jacket that I thought this jacket was a lot more water repellent. I knew it wasn't waterproof, but I'm like, maybe
more repellent.
a little bit more repellent. I should have sprayed it. Next time, I know. Well, I should have had an umbrella too, but you learn, you get there, you get an umbrella.
So, and I picked up, so this is my brother-in-law to a T. This is how this starts. We go to King's Cross Station, which is a giant train station. It has the tube.
And a lot of different outs that you can get out.
Where you can get out on all sides.
Yeah.
And I just said, you know what? I'll come pick you up from the hotel and there a day before. I don't want you to, get a little thrown from where you are because the walk is...
And he's not traveled also anywhere. He's never been out of the country.
Yeah, he never travels a lot. So I'm like,
traveled.
I'm going to come to the train. So I walk from the hotel to the train station. And he goes, I'm here. I said, okay, great. He says, yeah, I'm looking at a big red building. And it was just hysterical. I'm like, oh, yes, okay, I know where you are. He's like, yes, it says King's Cross Station. And there's a big red building. Yeah, it's red brick. Okay, great. I'm like, well, why don't you cross? I'm not crossing the street. I said, do you see the clock tower? He goes, no. I said, just cross the street and put your hand on the building because I'm not moving. You find me. And he says, there is we got to be at a different place. I'm like, we're at it. It's okay. He's on the other side of the building refusing to just take 5 steps up. Then he'd see the big clock tower that I'm standing under. And we would have been like, but for 20 minutes, he's telling me, I must be at the wrong place. And I'm like, no, you're not at the wrong place. It's okay. And that's how it started. So I was like, oh my God, this is going to be rough. But it was great. Actually, I think we had a great time. I think that we just wandered around and did things, tried not to be too stressful about anything. I told Rob, what do you want to do? Where we want to go? We got some funny stories about trying to find Jimmy Page.
I mean, that's when I went and took a crap somewhere. I had to go to the bathroom pretty badly. And I wish I would have. Yes. And I wish I didn't miss that conversation with that woman.
Oh, it was hysterical. Yeah, we were.
So we went to Jimmy Page's house first.
The Castle House. It's a famous castle house that apparently this block is insane because him and, I want to say his name, Robbie Williams, the
really famous dude.
Famous musician.
Uh-huh.
The one that movie about the ape, the monkey, was actually based on technically.
Yeah, and he was the actor in it, I thought.
He was the voice actor, yes.
Yeah.
Jimmy Page and him were apparently in a feud because he was either digging in a basement or something and shaking the walls and messing up.
Because they're literally neighbors, yes.
They're neighbors on this little street. And Rob is so obsessed with Led Zeppelin and Jimmy Page. He's like, Jimmy Page walks his dogs in this park. And I'm like, all right. And he's like, I know Jimmy Page. Let's go through the park. So Brian had to really use the restroom badly. So he went in a cafe like down the block.
Right.
And then we're just walking in the park. And Rob is like 15 paces ahead of me. And he is literally scanning the park. I don't know if I never even asked him if he knew what kind of dog Jimmy Page had, but he's like, I got photos of Jimmy Page walking in this park. I know he's in this park. I know he could be in this park. Let's just walk. I'm like, Rob, do you want me to leave you here for a couple hours? Do you want to wait to see if he passes by?
Yeah.
And it was just a woman walking a dog. And she was dressed really, you could tell she had money because it's an affluent neighborhood. It was a nice neighborhood that we were in.
Yeah.
And she just was walking her dog.
How'd you start talking to her?
And I just said, hey, pretty dog.
Oh, because you knew what kind of dog it was.
I said, pretty dog. And she said, I bet you don't know what kind, like a challenge.
Oh, she did.
I bet you don't know what kind of dog it is.
Really?
And I just said, Weimaranean.
Yeah.
She goes,
what? Weimaranean? I call them Weimaranas. Is it Weimaranean? Okay, go on.
But she said yes. I've heard of Weimaranean. I don't know. But it's the gray, silver gray looking
beautiful dog.
Crazy eyes.
Yeah. Well, they're
gorgeous eyes.
Gorgeous gray, blue eyes.
Yes, it has like a ring around the outside of the eye. Amazing.
I had a buddy of mine who had one growing up.
The amazing thing about London to me is that I swear, I think it's the law for you to take these dogs in and train them because it is completely insane how many dogs are not on leashes and other dogs don't attack each other.
Right.
So like
Well, they know. It's crazy how people will take their dogs out anywhere else, and when they're not able to be around other dogs. It's insane that people will do that here and in other countries, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So there, yes,
There, it's
I
one
did
of those
notice
things
that.
that's like, I have no idea if they automatically take them all to obedience school.
And Rob couldn't
Because
stop
they're off
saying
the
there's
leash.
no dog shit anywhere. He would be like, do you notice that there's no dog shit?
Yeah. Well, London is New York. It's New York City. It's much lower and it's much cleaner. It doesn't
Much
smell
cleaner.
like urine at all.
Yeah, no, nothing. He
in
was
the
astounded by
subways,
lack
he was
of
amazed that the
vomit
tube was
smell
not,
or
all that
shit.
Yeah, but we we're in the park and I just say that all of a sudden she got like, wow. What kind of dog it is. I'm like, oh yeah, great dogs. I'm like, and I started asking her, I said, it's amazing. These dogs are so well trained. I said, do you automatically have to train your dog? She goes, no, he's like Scooby-Doo. He runs around like crazy. And he just took off. But he took off and did one circle and came right back next to her. And I'm like, that's not crazy because there's like 7 dogs over there.
Right.
If it was one of my dogs, they would be running and barking and trying to attack other dogs.
Oh, yeah, Poppy
or at
would be
least
gone.
sniffing butts and doing everything else and annoying other dogs. So she goes, no. So then we're just walking. Rob is still looking for Jimmy Page. He's like 5 or 6 paces ahead, but he sees me talking to this woman as we're walking. And I'm like, oh, nice park, whatever. She's like, no, this is not the usual park. I don't really like this park. Because she was in Hyde Park, if you ever look it up, and she got mugged. She was talking about how she got mugged by this crazy group of bicycle bandits that were robbing purses. And the police apparently caught this network of bandits.
Yeah.
So I was impressed. I was like, wow, okay. So
It's
she's like, but
interesting.
I don't like this because I have a bigger dog. And a lot of little dogs are in this park. And my dog's just a big dog, and there's not a lot of room. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm thinking that so I'm like, oh, but I guess you live around here. And then she goes, yeah, I live right over there. So she points to the street where Rob was basically
Jimmy
stalking
Page's.
Jimmy Page.
Yeah, Jimmy
walking back
Page's
and forth.
block.
Jimmy Page's block. So I said, oh, right. So you live near Jimmy Page? She goes, oh yeah, he's my neighbor. Rob suddenly comes back in the conversation and it looked like he was going to bulldoze me down and knock me over and go, Jimmy Page, you know Jimmy Page?
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't blow it, Rob. Like, don't make the conversation all about Jimmy Page right now. Just kind of be cool and relax. If you want to get information out of this lady, compliment her dog, do something, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, be whatever. But it just turned into, she goes, oh yeah. She goes, oh my gosh, I would love, does he come with his dog often? Well, the park.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah. We were just, we're in this park because he thinks he's going to run into Jimmy Page. She goes, oh yeah, She goes, so what's he like? Oh, well, I mean, he's to himself and everything. He's like, but that's not really my type of music, so it's not really my scene. That's what she says.
Yeah.
From that, the entire vacation, the entire week we're in London, how many times did he say, she thought Jimmy Page was an ass? I'm like, where did that come from?
It was like right after it happened, though. It was weird how he was like, yeah, it kind of bummed me out because, she kind of told me that he was kind of a dick or something like that.
He
and
never,
she didn't like
she
him.
never
And I'm like,
said that to
wait,
him.
you told me what happened. When did this happen?
Exactly.
Well, because of that, that's what he thought. I'm like, dude, that's
she doesn't worship
insane.
him.
She doesn't. It's not her deal. She doesn't like. Not everyone likes Led Zeppelin.
She was a single woman. She was definitely if she's living next to those two,
Yeah,
she's got money.
She's got money. Yeah.
She's not just super impressed because he's some kind of rock star.
Right. Especially
and maybe she's like, this block is crazy, whatever. And because of the two of them have been having a battle, maybe she's like, screw the both of them. This is annoying.
Right.
And maybe it's annoying that crazy people like Rob are stalking back and forth in front of the gate all the time.
Right.
And she's like, oh, Jimmy Page, a rock star, lives next to me, and I got to deal with this bullshit, whatever. But either way, she never called him any names, but the rest of the trip, it was basically, Jimmy Page is a dick, and I'm bummed.
Yeah, trying to convince him, dude. She
Until
didn't
we
say
got to
that,
Wrexham.
and it's okay. And so what? It changed when we got to Wrexham.
Oh yeah, so that night in Wrexham, everything changed. Okay, so we had a great time wandering around London the first night. We went to a game. Basically, we went to a football match, to see the West Ham Hammers, which basically are the New York Jets of the Premier League.
Yeah,
The
that's a good
fans were
comparison.
booing. They were so bad. They lost again. We couldn't get a victory, but it was fun to see the experience of that. The away crowd is so small, but they were so loud because they were beating up on the Hammers. But it was great. It was great, and we had really good seats. Mm-hmm. They don't serve beer.
Yeah, well, you don't drink when you're sitting down, which makes sense.
Nope.
They do serve alcohol. You just have to drink it outside.
You have to get up and go to a lounge.
Well, no, I mean, people were drinking literally, right? You don't have to be in the lounge.
Outside in the hall.
Outside in the hall, the equivalent of if you went to an NFL game, when you walk around the ring to like find your section to go into your seats.
Where you buy the beer, you can drink the beer, but you can't bring it to the stands.
Exactly.
That's actually what it is.
Which is super smart.
It actually makes sense because they're crazy.
Especially there.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
So, but at halftime, we were able to go, and we were able to go to a special lounge because of the seats we had, because we had seats right on the rail. I thought they were excellent.
Yeah, they were excellent
and then
seats.
So we show our wristband, and we're able to go get a free beer,
right,
and hang out for the whole halftime, and then come back. And it was like the lounge was like right across from our seat. So it was very, very cool. They had tables and chairs, so you could just bullshit and hang out. Mm-hmm. The weird thing was no TVs. I didn't understand that. You couldn't watch the match in the lounge. We tried to find it, remember?
Yeah.
And you couldn't. I was like, what's going on? They want you back out.
I guess so.
So we had a great time at that. But the next day we went to Wrexham. We took a high-speed train. It was very cool. And we left and we went to Wrexham. And we got there. We got a B&B. We went to the bar. We hung out. I met Richie again, who was a bartender that I met 2 years ago before. He's like, oh, yeah, I think I remember you. He didn't remember me for shit, I don't think. But he just was being nice.
Right.
But he was cool. He was just cool because that night it wasn't that busy. It was busy enough. We were playing pool and doing everything. It wasn't that busy. The next night was the match locally.
And this bar that we're at in Wrexham is literally attached to the stadium. And when you go out to the very small area where if you wanted to smoke or just get some fresh air, in the back, not the one in the front,
patio.
The outdoor back patio, not the front, you can spit on the wall of the stadium.
Oh, if you just step 1 foot on the fence, you could touch the wall of the stadium.
So
it's
you're hearing what's going on. You're hearing little chants and cheers. Like that's how close you are.
And the anthem.
So
and
it was
everything.
great. And Richie said that he was going to try to get his tickets the first night. So I was like, holy shit! Now, and this is another thing too. So we are under the impression that there's going to be a game, and then when we land the first day or so, Rob is like, "There's not a game."
Oh yeah,
it's away.
It's an away game.
There's not a game. So I was like, man, it was going to be so great to be not even at the game, but to be in the bar right next to it. I was just as excited about that.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, all right, well, I guess it'll be fine. We'll go to the bar and we'll watch the game on the TV.
On the TV,
at least
where they're away somewhere else in England. Somewhere.
And then we find out the day after we thought it wasn't. It's like, oh, they are.
And then they're playing there. Like, what? They're playing there. Okay, great. Because if you watch the Premier League and you look at where it lists the games, the home team is always listed first, as opposed to the NFL. The home team is always listed second. So Rob is looking at it like, it's Wrexham versus somebody. In the meantime, it's Wrexham at home, and the team that travels is the second team listed.
Yeah.
Anyway, stupid, whatever. It doesn't matter.
But
it
worked out. Yeah.
We went the day before. We got the lay of the land. We BS'd, hung out, closed the bar because it closed at like 11:30.
Exactly, 11:30 we were out
Okay,
there,
then
right?
we walked back. Had a great. We had 2 great dinners in Wrexham. 2 great dinners.
Fantastic. What was one of them called? What the hell was it?
Safar or Jafar?
I think it's Jafar, not Safar. I don't know.
Jafar, I'm thinking of.
I know the fucking what's
Aladdin.
the genie Aladdin, yeah.
And then the other one was the Mad Boar,
the
Wild Boar. The Wild Boar. Either way,
it wasn't.
It was in the city center area. We actually had a really cool apartment. It was an apartment it was a BB, and it was 15-minute walk. Yes, it was.
Yeah, but it was a really cool town to walk through.
Little town to walk through. Really cool area.
That's what really impressed me a lot was just how much
town
character.
Was really cool.
Had a lot of character, and yeah, you might look at it, and even the people who live there, it's like, oh, it's kind of run. It was probably a lot more run down 5 years ago or 3 years ago or whatever it was. But I found it to be so much more charming. I thought it was going to be.
What you saw was life. You saw stores. You saw lots of restaurants. You saw lots of places. And we saw camera people all over the place getting filmed for the season of Wrexham, which we're not going to be on unless they catch us walking through the town.
I'd be just as happy watching if like that the bunch of old ladies that were getting interviewed in the bar
while we were there.
Like
I took note of what they were wearing, and I took a picture of them.
Oh, did
you? So that I could see, if that was the one. I just took a picture from far just to say, this is where they were getting. And we had breakfast the morning before, and the next morning that breakfast place is closed because we ate right across from it, and they're filming the people that were filmed 2 years ago who opened up this little breakfast place that we're eating at. They were filming there that morning. That was the morning that you weren't feeling too great.
Okay, now that was the morning that was the only place that had bad breakfast then.
With the crepes?
No, the crepes were freaking good. The ones with salmon, I was feeling fine that morning.
That was across the way. Yeah, we only got that because Rob was looking for eggs.
Okay, no, but I liked the food at that place. I might not have been feeling good with my back because I freaking sneezed and I thought I cracked a rib, but I didn't. Anyway.
No. It was interesting. But Wrexham was like the highlight, especially with Rob, me, and you sitting at the bar. So the night of the match,
right?
We came back we went to Liverpool, we went to the Cavern Club, we did a tour of the Beatles' homes,
magical mystery bus tour. Yeah, that was fun.
Which was fun because I would have never done it. And you get off and you walk down the street. And you're like, how do these people handle this? John Lennon grew up here and this one grew up here. And you're getting out and you're walking down this little street.
Yeah, you got like 30 people.
Shop and whatever,
yeah.
And they're walking. I'm like, how do these people live? Like, how can you? It was crazy. But anyway, so we did that in the morning. When we got back, we said, all right, we're going to grab some food. We had a really good tailgate meal at the
Fat Boar.
The Fat Boar. I'm sorry. That's what it was. The Fat Boar. The Fat Boar was good. The tailgate meal was really great. Sandwich and whatever just to beef you up so we could drink. We went back to the bar. And now it's only an hour before match time. And it is packed.
Yeah.
When I say packed, we walked up. We're like, we're not going to be able to get in the building.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. The parking lot was so heavy in the front. That was the smoking area.
Right.
We didn't realize. So there was 35, 40 people in this little pen.
At least there were probably
maybe more.
Many. Yeah,
but that was just out front
50,
of this
60.
very small pen. It wasn't even that big.
It was pretty small.
So we walked right in. Yeah. And I see Richie at the bar. Hey, he goes, and the first thing he says, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on trying to get tickets. So at least he remembered from the night before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Richie, we don't care. We're just happy to be here. This is great.
Yeah.
The bar was packed. We got a few beers. We went out to the back by the pool table, which they took the pool table. Now I know why the pool table we were playing pool the night before was slanted, because you just take the pool table and they move it right up against the wall because it's standing room only before the match.
Yeah.
We were hanging out outside. It was a little warm in there. We were hanging out outside, coming inside, having drinks. 15 minutes before the match, the whole place empties out.
Yeah, there's probably like 20%
Everyone
people
in the town has tickets, but you can't get tickets. He's like, I can't get one ticket. Richie's like, I can't get one ticket. I'm like, dude, we're good. Puts it on the TV. We're watching the match. Brian starts talking to people because he was just talking to somebody, like, hey, whatever.
Well,
talking
you
about
talked about the Australian, Mike.
No, but wait, you were talking to somebody next to him, and then Mike turned around and said, hey.
Right.
Mike is this guy, a very, very nice guy. Got more and more drunk as the night went on.
Yeah.
But he wants to be on the show so bad. He is desperate to get on this show.
Yes.
He's like, I'm the Australian contingent of people and whatever. And we go watch Wrexham. We have Wrexham Day when the matches are on in Australia at the bar. They don't even show it at the bar. Like, you can't even get it on TV at the bar. Then he goes to whatever. I'm like, what are you doing?
But he was
really diehard. He grew up in Wrexham. He moved to Australia like 20-something years ago. And he's trying to pitch them to get an episode done on him for the last year and a half. This is the whole big thing.
Yeah.
But he's living in Wrexham for a year.
Right.
Trying to basically get on the show.
He's apparently a very wealthy dude.
And he's very, very wealthy.
Right. So like he could afford to go, this is what I'm going to just pick up and live here for a year.
Him and his wife.
Yeah.
So he was nice. He's talking. So I went and I bought him a beer. And I bought his wife she was drinking like a wine spritz something or whatever, like a little bottle of something. Whatever it was. Got that. Great. He comes over. Oh, thank you. Buys us one now. And now he comes to sit with us. And he's talking. I got a brick outside on the wall. I paid for this. He's talking. He's chatting. He's laughing. Wrexham wins the match. Highlight of the thing. We're at a match that they won in town. The town is happy. It's not depressed. It starts to fill up again after the match is over.
Yeah.
We really got into it. So then when it fills up, everyone's, yeah, Wrexham, Wrexham, Wrexham. Everything's crazy. Then Mike, the Australian, is said, oh, this is my ex-wife and my friend, joking about his ex-wife. This woman who comes with his friend, who he's living with for a year to try and get on the show.
Oh, that blonde was his ex-wife?
No, it's not really. He just calls her his ex-wife.
Oh.
So she sits next to me. It's me. It's Rob to my left. She's on my right. Her husband's right behind. Right next to her. And so we're now in the middle of the bar we're this table of,
And we're in a like prime real estate table when the place was before the place emptied before the game did.
Right,
So it was
right.
It was
This
a really
was prime
it was a,
real estate. Now
it was
we're
a
in
good
the
real estate
center
right in the
of
center of
the
the bar.
bar.
You just kind of
center of the bar.
It was
hanging out.
nice.
It was
yeah.
nice. So now there's 7 of us around this bar, around this table.
Right.
Okay. And we're chatting. And this woman is just, gets a drink, whatever, and starts chatting. So what do? You know? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm in the moving business. And she goes, oh, really? She goes, Rob says he's in mold, which didn't impress her.
She goes, oh, we don't care about that.
She goes, mold. She goes, oh,
I
moving.
wasn't hearing
right?
this, but I
so
heard secondhand.
Brian is right across because he's talking to the wife of Mike.
Right.
Who, by the way, she was getting lit because she's like, I'm going to stop drinking. She had 3 more drinks after she stopped drinking.
Right.
And Mike is continually getting more and more hammered as the night goes on.
Yes.
It was
And Mike was
funny.
about Mike. We saw like Mike showed us his Australian, like he was on the news.
Oh.
He showed us anything that
Anything
he was
on his phone that he was ever on?
and
It's like-
in. He's like, here, watch this. And
and it
after
was
like
a
30
4-minute
seconds, it's
video.
like, all right,
and we're trying to
okay.
pass it over. He's like, no, it's just a couple minutes. I'm like,
I don't wanna watch this fucking
you
thing.
really-
We're
you really-
drinking.
yeah, we're just hanging out. So here's the
Right.
thing. So Brian's on the other side of me.
Right. I'm not even talking
And
to
he's
you
not
guys.
even talking to this woman.
With this woman, barely.
This woman
or
who
even you
turns
guys.
around and her husband is quiet as a mouse.
Right.
Okay. Rob continues to say she that he's a cuckold, but that's besides the point. So she's talking.
He said that he was a cuckold?
He keeps saying stuff because Rob was drinking. Rob was definitely drinking. I'm like, no, Rob. She's a talker. So she's talking.
Right.
And I'm sitting there saying, so I said the moving business, and she goes, oh, how old are you? Blah, 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 And I'm like, what? And she goes, yes, I work for BBC. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, BBC Breakfast. So she's like a news person.
Right.
She started something about the camera, but I think she meant she's on camera. I thought she was a camera woman.
Yeah, well,
And then she starts talking about, whatever. And then she says to me, this is within 20 seconds of me saying I'm in the movie business. She goes, oh, yeah, I'm 55, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I go, yeah, but I'm about the same age. She goes, oh, so you must have started, based on your age, on 15 millimeter. This is where it all turned.
Right.
I said, what are you talking about? She goes, 15 millimeter, because we're about the same age. That's probably what you started on. I go, wait a minute. Did you think I said movie business? I'm in the moving business. She goes, oh, you tried to fool me. You tried to be suave, whatever. I said, no. I said moving. I said lost in translation here, lady. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know. You never said BBC. I didn't know you were in the television business or whatever.
Right.
On a morning show, whatever. And she goes, oh, no. So she's like, oh, I said, I always said moving business. As soon as you said the word 15 millimeter, I said, what are you talking about? I never tried to play off like I'm some kind of whatever working behind the scenes in the movies. I literally, I didn't know how to say I'm in, trucking and transportation. I just said moving.
Right. She misunderstood. You got all defensive.
And then I said, stop. And then she's like, no, it's good. You got a proper job. My job is bullshit. I don't have a proper job, whatever. And she starts talking. She's like, TV and movies is just bullshit anyway. She's like, and I'm like, okay. Rob said again, I'm in mold. What do I know? It's because he was just so funny. And then, so he's listening and Rob is giggling and we're laughing. And then she starts in and she goes, oh yeah, I got a Porsche, 1968 Porsche, just had restored. And I bought some fancy German motorcycle. I'm like, oh, that's great. I'm like, but why is that not a proper job? She goes, oh, it's fine. She goes, I do interviews and this, that, and the other thing. And they go, yeah. She goes, what are you doing here? I said, well, we're here because I loved this town when the last time I was here. And, my brother's over there, and my brother-in-law, he really wanted to come to Liverpool to see the Beatles, and he's a Zeppelin fan and whatever, this other thing. And then all of a sudden she goes, so we're talking for like 10 minutes, and all of a sudden she goes, oh yeah, I interviewed Jimmy Page on the news show.
I think she said Robert Plant. Or did she do
she
both?
said
Jimmy Page. Okay.
This is why it turned. She said Jimmy Page. You want to know
Right.
why? Oh, I think she did Robert Plant too, but Jimmy Page. Rob basically pushed me out of my chair.
Right.
Like he all of a sudden leans in and leans over. What? Jimmy Page? You interviewed Jimmy Page? And I said, this is my cue to switch seats to her. So I switched my seat.
Right.
Now he is like, oh my God, Jimmy Page, whatever. She's like, how was he? Whatever. Oh, he's a very nice guy. I knew it. So this is from Monday
I'm not
afternoon.
listening to any of this.
And you're not listening to any
No,
of it.
no,
This is
not
where
at all.
this is where it all went. So for now, 20 minutes, Rob's talking about, I'm like, listen, you got to understand. I'm trying to tell you got to understand. He's been bummed ever since because he was told Jimmy Page is an asshole by this other person
Even though he wasn't.
Who didn't say he was an
Didn't
asshole, but
say
he's
that.
convinced. He says, so it really makes a difference that you interview saying, oh, no, he's a nice guy. He's a little, in his own thing, but he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
In the interview, she goes, and then she starts talking about people who were nasty to her.
Okay, who were they?
Oh, gosh, if I could only remember.
You don't remember one? Please give me one, because you might not, even if you don't know the name.
I think one was in the yes, it was one that I remember.
Okay.
From the Pussycat Dolls, the head one.
I don't know the Pussycat. I know the name.
Schlesinger, whatever. I think she was on like The Masked Singer for a season or some other show like that. She's
a real
big
shithead.
time, but apparently she was like the rudest person in the world to her staff. Very nice to her because she was either the interviewee or the one doing production, but the rest of her staff she was an asshole to.
And that's how you
she
judge
goes,
it.
Screw her. And I told her, I said, you may be absolutely gorgeous, but she was so proud of herself, but you are really ugly. And I laughed because I'm like, did you really say that to her? You just, because she was drinking at this point.
Right.
Then I swear she said something. I go, yeah, well, I'm here with your brother. She goes, oh, your older brother to you.
Oh, yeah,
This is when it
older
started
brother.
turning.
This is when it started turning.
And
yeah.
I was like, what's going? And she was drinking. And Rob was goading her on, older brother, what? No. And she goes, oh, yeah. And then she started saying things like, his bones look like biscuits. And these other things. And I was like.
And what was
he's
the
not
actor?
even in the conversation.
I wasn't even talking to her.
Oh, we were talking
I forgot
about
the
Michael Douglas and
Alan
Alan Arkin
Arkin
are in a show that was on, I want to say Netflix or Amazon.
Yeah.
And it was the Kaminsky Method. And she raved about this. She's, what? It's such a great show. It's well done. He goes, he looks like Alan Arkin because he had the glasses, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, he had a shaved head and he had dark rimmed glasses. That's the extent of the Alan Arkin that he looked like.
Yeah,
really.
well, I mean,
like if you squint, you're like, yes, he looked like Alan Arkin. But she was convinced Alan Arkin, like just a typical whatever.
And
she had an accent and it was funny. And she's like, he's just an old brittle dude, and does he come from and I don't know what the word is for institution, like a nursing home. I forget the word that she was using. She's like, well, he came out of the nursing home. And Brian was looking, and Brian's laughing, and Brian. Brian didn't know. But Brian didn't know what was being said because we're laughing, and I'm like, Brian, you don't get it. And you were still having a conversation with this other woman.
I think I said, at one point I said, I think I heard my name. What's going on over here?
And I said, Brian, she said, Rob and I look younger than you, and you look like your bones are biscuits. And you started laughing because you were feeling it.
Oh, I was doing whiskey.
You were doing whiskey.
Yeah.
You were the only one out of three of us were doing whiskey.
Yeah.
And I was just drinking beers. By the way, and Rob loves Wrexham Lager and everything.
It was good. I really like it too.
It was good. But it was really a good time. But then we closed the bar that night. And at the end of the night, Mike now is like, she's stealing all my attention. He's like, come on, let's go out. We're not leaving here until we go see my brick.
So,
we spent 20 minutes outside.
You have a picture?
I have a picture of his phone. He's taking pictures, and he's like, send me. But he couldn't remember I'm like, I don't know how to do the international, because international calling was a pain in the ass. Australian number, whatever. And he's like, let me take a picture from a picture. And then it was so funny. At the end of the night, you see a pile of people pointing at a brick. You're the funniest thing because you blocked out two people. You just came over the top on the picture and whatever. Rob was on the top right. And this other crazy woman from BBC was hysterical.
And she was in that picture.
Everybody's in the picture except for Mike. Now Mike's pissed. He's like, what the fuck? I want to be in the picture, and I'm taking the picture.
Right.
So then his wife took another picture, but I got a picture from his phone of the picture.
Yeah, the only picture that I have when I look back that I was like, from that night is me and Mike's wife. We did a selfie. I think I was just drinking and talking to her because I'm like, what's it like? Like I was interviewing her, like, so you're here for a year with your husband.
Yeah.
Like it was really interesting because it was so clear that this guy he loved Wrexham. I mean, he teared up a couple of times.
He teared up many times. He's telling stories about the bleachers, about outside. He said, don't you think that's interesting? Don't you think But he took us outside.
Yeah.
While the match was going on at halftime, he took us outside.
Right.
And pointed out some things about the building and the bleachers and how the stands used to be. He goes, don't you think that should be on the show? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not a producer,
yeah,
dude.
why
like,
you pitching
whatever.
us?
Yeah, you're pitching us. You pitch us to be on the show.
Great,
I don't know anybody.
sure.
I know Richie because I've been here a couple times. And the funny thing is, because I walked outside, I said, hey, I think I recognize you. The owner of the bar who's on the show all the time said that when I was walking outside. And I was like,
yes.
And I'm sitting there going, he doesn't recognize me. I have one of those faces that look like everybody, but it was just nice to say, maybe he remembers me. Yeah.
That's just funny because Nate asked me, he's like, did they remember him? He asked me specifically that. And I'm like, well, one of them kind of like said, hey, I think I do.
Yeah.
So you never know if he was bullshitting
right.
or not.
But see, the difference is when I was there to see them both, it wasn't the season. It was a quiet time. So I'm hanging out. So maybe they just, and this was early. This was before they started winning, right? So this was like.
When was it?
2.5 years ago. So
that was two. I didn't realize it was 2.5.
It was when they were
just got up to the championship.
The first one. It was
the
after
one
they
up.
lost and they moved one up.
Okay.
So they moved two up since then.
Oh, they're in. I forget what they're called.
They were in League 2, League 1, whatever the heck it is.
Yeah, I forget what they're called. I thought the second one was champion, and then the third was something else.
Yeah, they just moved up one. It was 2 years of them losing, and then at the end of the season they won, and it was just great. And Rob really enjoyed Wrexham because he watched the show. So I don't get anything from anybody, whatever, but I'm saying if you want to watch a really good show that Hollywood couldn't have wrote it better, that show Welcome to Wrexham, just to watch it is fantastic.
Because most people will be like, okay, this is about soccer or football. I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
But it has nothing. It has everything to do with it, and yet it has nothing to do with it because meaning you get sucked into the people, and then yes, 20% of it is like, oh, are they winning? Or maybe a little bit more, but it's really more about the town and the people. And I also like Ryan Reynolds and I like Rob Mack now, so I've always been a fan of them. So it's also easy to root for them.
But here's the crazy thing. It's not just one person in the town. It's not just the hardcore fan base in the town. Every person in the town. It's crazy. The bar is packed with people who are in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, 50s, 60s, probably in their 70s. Old people, young people, every person. It's insane because you got to think that guy Mike from Australia, he's got to be in his late 60s, early 70s, right?
Yeah.
And the table that they were interviewing before the match.
Oh, they all look like they were in their
70s.
Yeah.
And they go to the match.
A lot of the bar
was older. We were the average.
Older.
We were the mean, maybe like 40s.
There were younger people in there I was waiting with to get drinks before the match
which
started.
Was like 10 minutes.
It was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot.
Long wait for drinks.
But no, it was a lot of fun. I would definitely go back in a couple of years. I also like to go somewhere else, but like for specifically to see Wrexham, like we got some, whether it's true or not, like, talking to Richie about how the stands are only like, I think with the little extension that they're putting on now might bring it up to 18,000. I think maybe now it could do like 13-ish or something.
I don't think I think it's 13, 14 tops.
Right.
Because they put a temporary thing on the stand, then they already tore that down. So one side of the stands is not there. And then they said they're going to go up and higher. And they said the people who designed, apparently, I want to say it correctly, Tottenham Hotspurs, which is a big Premier League team that just got a brand new gorgeous stadium. So that would be like the SoFi Stadium of the U.S.
It's like the newest high-tech thing out there.
The biggest stadium, the newest high-tech thing that's out there in L.A. Well, guess what? These people for Tottenham Hotspur are designing this stadium. And how are they keeping this bar there? It's like they can't touch the bar. I'm like, okay, I get it. They're going to go up and over the bar.
Yeah.
The bar is going to be like, you ever see the movie Up? When they build all the buildings around? Yeah. And this is what it's going to be. Well, the bar is going to be right there.
When we saw West Ham, right? Yeah. The stadium was like below.
Yeah.
So down. Like when I say the stadium, I mean like the what do you call the pitch? So it's like
under street level.
When you're looking at like when we're in the States, when we're looking at wherever Giant Stadium is, whatever that's called now, everything's above. Ground level is where the field is.
If you've been to Atlanta, they have it like that. It's
right, I haven't.
It's actually dug down.
So that makes sense with them going up in Wrexham.
Because the Olympic Stadium was actually a gorgeous stadium.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah. It was definitely nice. But like
nice.
I could see the Wrexham thing because they're saying that to go up to potentially 46,000, 47,000, something like that was Richie said.
Yeah.
Which is a shit ton. So obviously they're going to go all the way around and have it, go up on an angle and be over the bar.
Premier League or bust if they do that because that many people, that's 3 times what what they are now 3 times.
Yeah.
So that's wow.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun.
The trip was great. We went back. We went to the Borough Market. We had strawberries. We had
Where
strawberries and
was the
Sandwich?
sausage pie, the sausage roll rather, the big fat ass one that I wish that I couldn't eat it all, and then I left it in the fridge just a little bit.
Borough Market.
Borough Market. There is a sausage roll there. So was that like a famous place specifically
Yeah,
for the
I had
sausage
it the last
rolls?
time, and
Because
it's really,
it was
really delicious.
unbelievable. The noodle place was good, but it was too hot.
Oh yeah, we made a mistake in just getting a little spicy. Their little spicy was atomic.
And then you got regular spicy.
And then I got regular spicy, and I still ate it, but I was dying. I was like, oh my God.
I'm not
the
a
hand-pulled
spicy
noodle
person.
was cool. Humble crumble I thought was really good.
Humble crumble was very good.
Sticky toffee pudding was great.
But it's also, I mean, you go into a place, you're having a good time, you're having a really good experience. I mean, there's something to be said. Maybe things taste a little bit better when you're having a really good time, but it really was excellent. Like the place right across from the Crown Plaza with the short rib and that. You got lamb.
The pub.
I wish I would have got that.
One of the best.
Was it lamb?
Yeah, but it was a lamb steak. It
Right.
wasn't a lamb chop.
It was a lamb steak.
A lamb steak.
And it was
I was like,
fucking
what the hell?
delicious.
And the potatoes are perfect with it, and the vegetables are perfect with it. And it was so funny because we're sitting there talking and look up, and this girl who looks like, I want to say her name right, but I always get it wrong. It's Potato, Zendaya, whatever her name is. Right. She had a Zendaya type of look from Australia, but totally reminded us, and the mannerisms and the talking kind of whatever, even though she had the accent, and the eyes of Rob's daughter Julia. The whole time we were just, and I'm just like, she's freaking Julia, like, and Rob's like, I know, I see it too. Like you just couldn't help it. Like she's like, oh, whatever. It's just like the whole
if
reaction
you know her,
to
then
everything.
you know. Yeah.
She's like, and I'm asking her, what's the special? What is that? She goes, I don't know. And I'm just like, that's Julia. She wouldn't know shit either.
But yeah,
but we went all the specials and we got everything, and
so
we got
much in her eyes and how she
just,
reacted.
And it was just, that was the last meal before we all left, and it was nice. It was just great, and we all got lucky because we got back before this stupid air traffic BS and the airport congestion and everything. We all got back. The only thing I will say is this: I'm still having trouble at airports because I got on the freaking plane to come back home. And I sat on the runway for not on the runway. I sat at the gate for 2.5 hours while 5 guys in reflector jackets, orange and yellow reflector jackets, got on, went to the pilot area, got off, got on, got off, got off for over 2 hours. They turned the plane on, they turned the plane off, no AC, no nothing. And the people sitting next to me had the window. I go in the middle. They had the window. And they said, oh my God, what's going on? And they're all talking about the fact that there's 5 guys taking the entire shroud of the engine off the plane for the last 2 hours and are playing with things and working on things and doing whatever. And the pilot keeps coming on. There's nothing wrong with the engine. It's not engine failure. They're just working on some systems and some safety things. And I went, we got to fly across the Atlantic. I'm a little nervous about this shit. Are you kidding? Don't talk to me.
But they said it wasn't about the engines, though, right? Listen, it makes sense. You'd have worked on shit. They got to take off stuff that's near the engine to get to shit, like wiring or something.
They had a plane in Seattle that lost a door. I don't want the shroud of the engine to come off while we're in the plane. And I want to make sure all of them are whatever. So I'm just like, they literally have the housing of the engine opened and exposed, and they're turning it on and off.
Yeah.
No AC.
And by the way, it's weird that you, since you're at the gate, so you obviously you can't get off. Sometimes you get stuck on the runway, or they
never made it to the runway, and everybody was loaded on the plane.
No, but you were at the gate. You should have been able to get off of the plane.
I literally said to them, "Is there another plane? Are we going to be switching planes? This is over, whatever." And she says, "No.
No, but usually just get off."
I wanted to get off.
And they wouldn't, because you weren't still attached. They wouldn't let anybody get off.
We were attached technically, but we were attached for the mechanics to come on and off, not for people to get on and off. I didn't see anybody getting off.
It's weird you were stuck there for that long, because I've been on planes for shorter amount of times where they say, since we're here, you can get off if you want to, or you could stay on the plane.
Because international law, I think it's 4 hours. If you're further than 4 hours, they owe you money, as opposed to the U.S., because the last time my plane was delayed, I got over $3,000 back.
Right.
And I still took a flight.
Right.
And I got over $3,000 back, which paid for my next cruise. Anyway, that was it. Oh, yeah. And I did go to Egypt, and I did go to Greece, and I did go to Turkey. And I swear to you, I am such a myopic person, which I believe the definition is I'm just of my own world, so I'm so used to the U.S. And the U.S. is great. I love the U.S. Don't get me wrong, but we're a baby. We're a few hundred years old, and we celebrate. I love Charleston for the history and the few hundred years and the wars and everything else.
What was the most impressive out of the places that were not most, but just say give me a couple?
Ephesus in Turkey.
Okay, tell me what the Ephesus is, because I don't even know.
It was an ancient area that basically was established, I believe, 6,000 years BC, but then they started building structures on it. So a lot of the structures that are there are anywhere from 1,000 BC to 600, 800 BC.
What kind of structures are you talking about?
You're just talking about arches and stones and some things that you look
gotcha.
and there's like a 3-story. If you look it up, it's just crazy. It's in Turkey, and it's insane, and I didn't even know it existed. And then there's a giant theater there with seats like the Colosseum, but it's open air. It's not closed like the Colosseum. And you go, oh yeah, the Romans were here. They took over.
The Colosseum was open.
Open on the top.
Yeah.
But there's walls. These don't have walls. These were dug down into seats.
Gotcha.
It's a little bit different. And then the Parthenon, and just looking at that, climbing up to the Acropolis, all the areas.
I've heard of the Parthenon, but I don't even know what the Parthenon is.
The Parthenon is that structure in Greek mythology. It has all the columns and all the pieces, and then there's, I think it's the Temple of Athena, which has the Porch of the Maidens, and you just look at all these structures going, holy shit, how the hell? And the pyramids, I rode a camel, I did the pyramids. It was impressive. It was really impressive. And the food was fantastic. I tell you, Turkey was unbelievable food. Greek food was unbelievable in the different places that we went. And I'd go back in a heartbeat, and it was great. And the cruise ship, I did well at craps. That's where I won my money back. And I had 2 nights where I did okay on the, so I actually came back about $100 under or over what I started with. And I was on a cruise for 10 days and gambled every day. So that's pretty, and I don't know.
That's for me is winning big.
But I'm just saying, because I also spent money on souvenirs and different things and whatever, and tipping and doing all that. So I don't really know how much. I wasn't paying attention because I was just giving. Plus, not for nothing, I give Cher a lot of money when I'm in the casino, just to be like, you play whatever. I'm good. I'm okay right here. You play. So the craps table, I got a little hot. It was a great feeling. And I played a certain system, and the guy was looking at me like, oh, that's interesting, which means not a lot of people play. And it's difficult to do in my head when I'm rolling the dice. But I had a couple of good rolls where I rolled 12 to 13 times.
You were trying to explain it to me a little bit of what you were doing, and
I
could
that's
get
just the gambling part of me.
But I'm not a guy. You're a math guy too.
Yeah, so it's whatever.
It's stats, math, simple. I mean, a lot of it's pretty. I mean, when you break it down the way you do, you got to find it. You have to have a certain mind. But when you break it down, it's not really that hard to understand.
I'm willing to be patient to win and lose $10 here, $5 here, then win 10, then lose 10, then win 10, then lose 10 for a streak. And that's how I like to play craps. And then when the streak comes, I push a little bit. But you got to be disciplined. You can't just say, oh, I feel lucky. And, I was betting probably $30 a roll.
You got to recognize a streak.
You got to recognize the streak, and then as soon as it happens,
it's a legitimate streak.
And you don't know if you don't know how long the streak is going to go.
Right.
But you ride it as willing and able, and you go up. So if I won 600, and then betting 20 something at a time, and I'm there. I mean, I played craps for probably a total time there 8 hours, 4 times. A couple hours here, a couple hours here, a couple hours here. So if I played craps for maybe 6 to 8 hours.
Well, you gambled every night though. If you gambled for 10 nights. You didn't you didn't do craps all the time.
I did craps every night.
You were doing a lot of.
I played with slots because I recognized a couple slots that I thought were pretty good, and I knew kind of these bonuses are okay. So I played with them. I would break even a couple times. Then one night I knew that they were kind of doing good. So when I hit on one for 400, I moved over 2 seats and waited for that one to time out, and hit on that one for 400 because I do low bets, high bets. I kind of float around. But anyway, this is just my system. And guess what? It's all bullshit. I'm just lucky because I was actually in the theater and I got picked from the audience to press your luck. So I want a t-shirt and $10. That doesn't happen either. I don't know. It's just stupid shit. I just get picked out for a lot of stuff.
You do.
But you know what? This episode was not about sports, not about anything else. It was just about the fact that we did it. We went to London. And the funny thing about all of it is that Rob texts me Tuesday after he got back and says, next we should go to Ireland. And I called him immediately and said, what makes you think my sister's going to let you go to Ireland with me?
Yeah.
And the only thing he said was, she never wants to go there. So at least I have a chance.
There you go.
And that's it.